Well, I go live and my chair's in the wrong place. But apart from that, here I am. And I've got one person here, so hello, one person. Not sure who that will be. Maybe it will be Nathan. Oh, it's Chris. Hi, Chris. You alternate, don't you, between who comes first? I apologise for the look, but I can't wear any makeup today because I think I'm allergic to the puppy. I've had sore eyes all day, runny eyes. So sadly, I think I've lost a button. Yeah, there's a buttonhole there. No button. Never mind. I'm sure I shall survive without a button. Yeah, they're fancy ones, so I'm not taking them. Yeah, I looked after the puppy, well, the puppies last night because my son went to see his dad. And this morning, my eyes were like glued together. So um, I thought that's a bit weird. Of course, we haven't got any Piriton in the house. Whatever. So, hi, Chrissy. Hi, Denise. So here I am, no makeup and pink eyes. They're very pink, aren't they? I've got a fire. It's freezing outside. I've got a fire. Look at that fire. Glow, glow, glow. Hey. I hope you remind me to put some more wood on the fire when it gets down a bit. And I've forgotten to plug in Chrissy's light. Sorry, Chris. Mm. Hiya, June. Hi, Denisha or Denny. I made a video today, but honestly, I went to make a video when it was daylight and my camera for some reason wasn't charged up. And the time I'd charged it up, the light had gone outside and the family had come home, so I couldn't go in the conservatory. So I felt like I was like making a video by candlelight. It was that bad. Oh dear. So at least I've got light now. I don't know why it looks so dark. I had the same lighting as I have now on when I made the video, and yet for some reason or other, whether it's the angle I was at or whatever, I could not get the lighting right. So I just cut it short. Yeah. So it's a very, very short video, and you can hardly see anything. I'm very sorry. It's like the gathering gloom. Yeah. So I was just trying to show you what crocheting I've been doing, but it didn't work out, did it? Yeah, I think the necklaces showed up because I actually put the light on them so you could see them a bit better. Hi, Mary. Hi, Claire. So we'll see how we go. And the weather is blowing a gale outside. It's very, very cold, and that usually affects my internet. So I will apologise in advance in case we get buffering because that is circumstances beyond my control. Once again, I've brought my bottle in and I've not brought a glass. So I should be very, very lowbrow and be drinking my drink out of a cup. How lowbrow is that? Yeah. Well, as you know, I have been crocheting and I've been buying, which I shouldn't have been buying. I don't know whether I had it last week when I showed you, did I? I can't remember. When I had the spirit, the boho spirit. That's called Dream. That's what I'm crocheting with at the moment. And this one is called Mojo. How gorgeous that is. Woo! Yeah, so I've been crocheting as usual without a pattern. I know I annoy everybody when I do it, but I do crochet so much quicker and so much better without a pattern. I get so bogged down with all the instructions that they tell me with these modern patterns. Yeah. I think I caused a bit of controversy by putting on my Urban Gypsy Facebook page that I didn't really agree with his Patreon, you know. Hi, Nathan. I mean, I understand why people want to do Patreon when they want to earn money and that. But when I want to pattern and it's only for my Patreon patrons, only, that really annoys me. Absolutely annoys me. It puts me off the person, actually. Because if I was to be a Patreon or a Patreon of every person whose pattern I liked, I'd be out of pocket. I'm sorry, but I don't have that kind of money, to be a patron of everybody that I like. So, I wouldn't mind if they said, this pattern is for my patrons only for X number of weeks or a couple of months or something. And then after that, it'll be for sale. Yeah. Because they never do put them up for sale. They just don't. And I'm sorry, but I am not going to give somebody so many dollars each month to all these people whose patterns I like. I can't do it. So you can all be relieved. I will not be asking you to join my Patreon because I haven't got one. Yeah. Yeah, they should, yeah. I mean, people were saying, oh, that's how they earn their money. That's how they do this. Well, yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. If people are daft enough to pay them, yeah. Yeah. You just, it just gets me down. It's just like everybody's in it, aren't they, to make money out of people. Hi, Cuz. And as for the people who beg, don't get me started on that. Miguel knows my feelings on that. As I say, this camera's on its last legs, but I am not begging anybody to buy me one. I will save up and I will buy my own. So you can all breathe. I am not asking you for anything. Although if you could all keep your fingers crossed that I get a win on the lottery and then I could actually go and get me own. Yeah. Oh yeah, a few of them would be good as well. A few of them. Thank you very much. She says, begging. Thank you very much. And I promised I wouldn't beg, didn't I? Oh dear. Well, I hope you're all doing very well. Miguel looks as though he's got a bit of frost or a bit of snow, according to his picture on Facebook. Yeah. Oh no, I couldn't afford to pay to watch all the people I want to watch. When they say like, oh, this is a beautiful pattern, this is this, it's for my Patreons, it's for my patrons. And I'm like, oh, yours. Do I care? No. Will I go and join your Patreon? No. Sorry, mate. That's just me. Maybe I'm just tight. But I would say careful with money, not tight, yeah. Hey. Oh, good evening, Connie. Or anybody else I've missed, good evening. Because I do tend to miss people when they fly by very quickly. Yeah, if anybody's wondering why I look like this, I think I'm allergic to the puppy. Yeah, frugal is the word, I would say. Yeah, I am very frugal. Well, let's face it, you could buy a couple of bowls of wool, couldn't you? If you didn't have to pay Patreon to everybody that you liked, yeah? No, I don't have. I wouldn't even attempt them, Joe. I've got nothing to offer. Nothing to offer, if I did have patrons, I have nothing to offer them. Whatever I have, I give for free. Yeah, well, maybe it's their way. If they are trying to earn a living from YouTube, then fair enough that they're trying to earn a living. But I'm not in it to earn a living. I never have been. Yeah, I know, isn't it lovely? I love it. I love it, Kaz. All the wool I've got in the shed, and yet I just love new wool. Why are we all like that? Yeah, it's a kind of, not a blackmail to me, but it's kind of like, if you want to see more of me, you'll have to pay. You want to see more of me, then I'm free. You don't like it, at least you're not paying for it. Oh dear. Oh, you sound like the Beverly Hillbillies, Denise, yeah. No. I'll never have money, but I don't care. As long as I can pay my bills, I am not bothered. The only time it would worry me was if I didn't have money to pay, the gas, the electric, things like that. As long as I can survive, I'm fine, yeah. I sound like John Him. I'm free. No, people have said that to me. Why don't you have like some people have those things, and if you give them $1 or something, it goes pa-ding on the video. I can't be bothered. I think we've been through that before about people begging, haven't we? Which we don't like, yeah. Really bugs me, that really bugs me. Especially when you get people who say, oh, I can't afford to pay for my medication, or I can't afford for this, that, and the other. And then the week after, they put a video up of all what they bought from somewhere else. Not medication, not food, not anything. Stuff they bought to make themselves feel better. Oh gosh, we would all like to do that, wouldn't we? Hi, Sandra. We'd all like to go out and go mad and spend money on wool and clothes and shoes. And, yeah. But we don't then say, oh dear, we can't pay the rent. Yeah. You bought yourself a storage trolley. Oh, don't go mad, Kaz. I had one of them. It took me ages to assemble it. I like to put it off, Kaz, but Oh dear. What am I working on? I'm working on the sleeve to a cardigan. Yeah, I know. I don't agree with paying. I've just started the bottom of the sleeve, yeah? I'll show you what I'm making. I did show you on my little video, but you may not have seen it yet. Oh, the table's miles away. Well, that's what I made with the rest of the cotton. I made that little top. That's some ice cotton that I had in. I'd have enough wool for long sleeves, so it had to have like elbow sleeves. It's a little shorty cardigan. The buttons don't quite match, but they were what I had in the shed. It was the leftovers from making this top. Yeah, made that top. It'll only fit somebody very teeny weeny. It's laced up the back. But I would think that you couldn't really have a bosom if you were fitting into something like this, really. So it's meant for a teenager, really. You've seen the cream one I made. I finished the pink one off. I put the lacing on it today. That's the pink one. That's the pink one. And I finished up doing the lacing on the back. Yep. And last but not least, this is what I'm crocheting on today. I've made the bodywork. I've even put the buttons on. Yeah. That's with this, the boho spirit in the dream colour. It's not a vesta waistcoat. It's got to have sleeves. So that's what I'm working on at the moment. I've just chained on sleeves. Hi, Melly. Who else I've missed? Anybody? Yeah. I don't know why. I get so confused with modern patterns. I don't know whether it's me. Whether I've got the beginnings of brain fade, I don't know. But some of the modern patterns have me scratching my head, and I'm like, what are they going on about? So I think, no, I'll just do my own. Then I upset people because people say, oh, it's very pretty. Have you got a pattern? Have you written it down? No, I don't write anything down. Each one is an individual. Each one is a, what do they call it? Unique? Yeah. It might look similar, but everything I make is unique because there's one only. Might make two that look similar, but I just don't. I can't. If I wrote anything down, I can't read my own shorthand anyway. Hi, Ethan. Oh, Kaz, you've nearly finished the front of your jumper. Well done, you. Well done. What's everybody else doing? What you all working on? Hey, hey, Juanita. How are you doing, girl? You're working on the original scarf known as Miss Marple Neck Scarf Vintage. Ooh. I like vintage patterns. I really do, Melly. Honestly. I think I'm stuck somewhere in the 60s. Or I might be stuck as far as the 80s, but anything further than that. No, I'm definitely a vintage girl. Some of my clothes in the wardrobe have been there since the year. I did get rid of a lot of them, I must admit, because I had to admit that I would never be size 10 again. Yeah. You finished the baby blanket and you're working on toddler mittens. Ooh. I spoke to Sue today, by the way, and the baby's doing very well. Yeah. Yeah, we're still doing things. My friend's still making bunnies and chickens and everything else for the stall. But as you know, I'm not into those amigurumi things, yeah. Nothing with a face. Oh, you barely hear you. Well, as long as you're half here, Miguel, you're all right, aren't you, love? For anyone who hasn't seen it, Miguel's hardly here. Are you fading in and out, Miguel? Are you going to sleep or what's wrong? Is it too cold for you? It's too cold for me, I tell you. You can hardly see him because he's fading away, you see. It's called old age, Miguel. I hate to tell you that, but I have to look at the computer to find out what day it is. Somewhere along the middle of the week, I'll lose track. You know, I get my Tuesdays and my Wednesdays muddled up. When the lady at the knit club says to me, are you coming tomorrow? And I'm thinking, what's she telling me that for? It's only Monday. Then I realise it's Tuesday, and she's right, yeah. Yeah, all went out for afternoon tea. Quite a posh restaurant it was in quite a posh hotel in Blackpool. Mm, very nice afternoon tea. Kitty Cat's not feeling her best. Well, yeah, I'm sure she'll revive. You're looking after her. I'm sure she'll be okay, Miguel. Oh, here are 7 more boards of crochet that you think you will like. No, thank you. Wait. My favourite tea, I don't drink tea at all. I only drink coffee. I've tried herbal teas. I've tried all sorts of things. I was brought up with tea. I enjoyed a cup of tea right until I was pregnant with my son. Oh, hello, we're buffering. Oh, my God. Sorry about this, people. If you can't see me, sorry about this. I've got an unstable connection. It's the bloody weather outside. Sorry for swearing. It's the blooming weather outside. Yeah, when I was pregnant with my son, I just couldn't face tea. And I thought, oh, I'll be fine once I've given birth, yeah. You've asked her, but she decided to stay numb, did she? Perhaps she's dreading you asking her who the father is, yeah. Yeah. I wonder if anybody in America would like the Yorkshire tea. Yeah. I wonder if it's an acquired taste for over here. Or whether it has made it across. Yeah. You know, whether it's made it across to America. What they would make of a tea called Yorkshire tea. Yeah. It's very windy here. That's why it's telling me my connection's unstable. Whenever it's windy or bad weather, it affects my internet. So I do apologise if you're getting buffering. I do apologise because there's nothing much I can do about it. London fog. Is that some kind of a tea or what is it? What is it, Melly? Oh, I know a lot of people didn't like that being moved to Mersey. Especially the people that were like sort of on the Wirral. Hi, Lashira. Yeah, I know. I can't help it. It's the weather. I'm buffering. Sorry about it, people. I can't help me buffering. You refreshed? I need a refreshing. I was talking today with Sue, you know, we were talking about various ailments and God knows what, you know. And I was saying that, you know, my diabetes nurse is always moaning and complaining, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. I looked at her and I said, you know, I'm 76. I said, I'm sorry, but if it means I'm adding another couple of years on my life by sticking to this strict diet for diabetes, then sorry, I'm not going to do it. To me, it's the quality of my life, isn't it? Not the quantity. My aunt, by marriage, got her card from the Queen yesterday because she was 100. I mean, my uncle, like the blood relative, he died a long time ago. But my aunt, she got her card from the Queen. I got a photograph sent to me from her son of her holding the card, yeah. Tell you what, she looks blooming good for 100. I think that's why we were talking about age. I was talking to Sue. And I was saying I don't think I'll make 100, but yeah, there's not a lot of people who get to be 100, is there? I wouldn't mind being 100 if I had decent enough health and I could still do things. But if I wasn't well, you know, and I was like kind of just sitting there, not being able to do anything or take part in anything, then I don't think I'd want to do it. If I couldn't do my crochet and I couldn't watch the TV and couldn't get out and about, then, you know. One of our knit club ladies is 90 and she's very, very sprightly. And she's very funny as well. She's got all her, as we would say, all her chairs at home, all of her marbles, yeah. She's doing very well for 90. Yeah. Still. That's my fire still. Ooh, my fire looks a bit grim. Hang on a minute, people. Can't be doing with my fire going out. Oh. I believe the Queen has a Dubonnet and lemonade, whatever that is. Oh. Let me find another log for my fire. not lasting over these lamps, you know. I think it's because there's the wind howling down the chimney. It's blowing the fire up. When it's windy, the fire roars away much quicker than it usually does, yeah. Oh dear. Yeah, the Queen Mother, yeah, the Queen apparently has a Dubonnet and lemonade. So, oh, my jacket, yeah, it's one of those indigo moon. Apparently I've lost a button. There's a buttonhole there, but no button. It must have arrived like that because I don't remember losing a button. Although I have had the jacket for a little while. I had a sweater on. If you watch my video, I had a yellow sweater on. I was cold. So I put this on because it's like an outdoor jacket, really. It's got a lining in it. It's plain lining, rust colour lining. And as I put this on, my son then came in and said, did I want to? Our puppy sleeps on the pillow between my daughter-in-law and my son, on the pillow right next to their heads. So maybe that's a puppy thing. Yeah. She's put on weight, so she's doing well. Hi, Proverb. She's had her booster shot and she's got a microchip. You have to chip things these days, otherwise, God's truth. Yeah. My local chip shop, that was my local chip shop when I lived in Prestwich, has won an award again for being the best chippy in the UK. Well, one of the best chippies in the UK. I don't half miss them. I mean, we've got a good chip in here, but it's not a patch on him. I really loved his chips, yeah. Oh, the fire going dung. You're off now to your best friend's son's birthday party. Oh, hello. Stay sober, Melly. We don't want to read reports about you singing and dancing in the street. You know. It's supposed to be, oh, it says rain non-stop. Oh, rain to stop, I beg your pardon. It doesn't say how much. It usually tells me what the weather forecast is. We won't mind if you go and put your beans on. You know, we won't mind that. You know, we don't want you being deprived of your supper. Because you'll regret it later if you don't put your beans on. What's Chris cooking today? What are you making today, Chris? Seeing as Miguel's not making his beans. Yeah, apparently the puppy we've got likes to be warm all the time, so maybe your puppy's the same, Miguel. She went out she's allowed to go for a walk now. She's had a second injection. So she went for a little walk with a crocheted coat on to keep her warm because she feels the cold. Are you going to make some salmon patties? Oh, right. Well, save the beans and make them tomorrow then. If you put them on, you can make them for tomorrow. You put them in your slow cooker. You're in the kitchen making, oh, tacos, right. I don't know what they are, but tacos, I know what tacos are, yeah. You're going to make the zucchini pates. I had a mushroom risotto but it was a ready-made one and it was disgusting. It was like mushroom soup over the top of soggy rice. So I didn't enjoy it one bit. And after I'd eaten it, my son came in and said, "We're having burgers and chips." I said, "I've eaten that now." You worried about the kitty cat? Well, if she is having kittens, they do go a bit off, a couple of days before they have them. Yeah. I'm sure she'll be fine. Maybe she didn't like the cold weather. Maybe she got a bit chilly. Hi, Anna. I have a lot of trouble with my neck and shoulders, Anna. I really, really do. I do wear a little support things like that sometimes. It's got magnets in the back and it's like a heat retaining thing. And I put it, that goes around the back, obviously. And that helps me sometimes. It's only quite cheap. I got it off eBay. It's quite cheap. It goes around your neck like that. But I do have to keep stopping and, doing that. I'm worse with knitting, actually, than I am with crochet. Knitting, I must hunch more when I'm knitting. But I've got backache because our kitchen is not designed for little shorties like me. And certain things are right on the top shelf. And I know I've got a little stool that I could find, open out. But no, I have to be lazy and I have to stretch. So today I was doing my laundry and I had to stretch up to get the laundry powder capsules from the top cupboard. And I really pulled me back, yeah. So my own fault. I should have got the little stool. I know full well I can't reach the laundry stuff. And then to make it worse, when I was making my breakfast, I did the same thing to get the little jug from the top. But I'm just so lazy, I can't be bothered looking for the stool. It's one of those that you open out and step on. I just wish I was taller or the cupboards were shorter. My cupboards at home, when I used to go home, they weren't that high. Oh, yesterday you had homemade chicken veggie soup. I like homemade soup, yeah. Oh, it's raining hard. I can hear it through the window. Yeah, I know. I've got an electric pad somewhere, but it doesn't really, it sits on my shoulders, but it doesn't actually go at the back of my neck. It's not warm at the back of my neck. It's warm on my shoulders, but not on the back of my neck. And that's where I feel it. I get headaches from the back of my neck, if you understand what I'm talking about. When I say to people I've got a headache and they say, "Oh, is it there?" I go, "No, it's here. It's at the back." And that's where I get. Yeah, I need a short cupboard for shorties. They're all just that little bit. My daughter-in-law's like, I used to be as tall as my daughter-in-law, but with having the back troubles and the back problems, my spine shunted down. So I've lost a couple of inches. So I would have been all right if I was still fat. Oh my God, it's raining hard. If I was still 5'4", I would be all right with our kitchen cupboard, but I'm not. I'm 5'2". Yeah. It's like that with the wardrobes in my bedroom. I can't get to the top of them. Oh, your mobile mechanic came and did your front brakes. It's a good idea to have brakes, Miguel. They do come in handy at times. Yeah, the cupboard with all my little bits in. I can reach most things, but at the top, our cupboards go up to the ceiling. And I mean, there's no blooming way I can reach up to the ceiling. Yeah. My cupboards didn't reach up to the ceiling. They had like a false piece, so you wouldn't get that gap to put things on top. I had a phony piece of just wood that went across. Um, so you wouldn't be tempted to put pans and junk and all sorts at the top. So we had it planned that way, yeah. Taking the top off me dandelion and burdock. Oh, that rain is awful. It's a wonder you can't hear it. Oh, very classy, aren't I, drinking dandelion and burdock out of a cup. I always forget to get them my glass. Cheers. Oh, that's good. Well, at the moment, I'm sort of in the mood to do the little things, for the craft fair. I've got tons of stuff, tons of stuff in the shed, as you know. But a lot of it is what I would call too big to take with me. People don't go to craft fairs prepared to buy sort of like a cardigan or anything big. They only go prepared to buy smaller things, yeah. So I need to concentrate on making smaller things. Although I am making these 2 cardigans at the request of one of the ladies who said, try making a couple of shorty cardigans. So this is what I'm doing. But when I ring Sue up, Sue says, oh no, you want to make little kind of granny square shorty sweater things. So I've still got a bit of time. It's not till March. She says it's February already now. But you know what I mean. Still got a bit of time. Because things that seem to sell in America don't sell over here. Like you sell dishcloths, don't you, and towel toppers and stuff like that, which people over here just wouldn't buy at all. I've never known anybody here who's in England who has ever crocheted a towel topper. Let me know, because I don't know anybody who ever has in the UK, or anybody who has anywhere they could hang it. Our kitchen cabinets tend to be flush. They're just open with sliders or whatever. They don't have handles and knobs. Oh, you know my thoughts about blankets, Miguel. And I know I wouldn't sell one. I did try a couple of baby blankets at one craft fair, but nobody was interested, no. No, I've never done. I've got nowhere to hang a towel topper if I made one. Where do you hang them from? I don't have knobs on the fridge. I don't have knobs on any of the drawers or any of the cupboards. There's nowhere with a knob to hang anything on. And I think most people, it's kind of not the trend in the UK to have kitchen cabinets with knobs or handles. They tend to be flush, you just open them. So I don't know whether that's it. Maybe in America you all have knobs and things on your cookers and your what have you got, yeah. No. I used to use handmade dishcloths when I was at home, but my daughter-in-law here wouldn't thank me for one. She just likes the chuck away. I've never really used a cup cozy. I mean, don't the tea or the coffee dribble down, yeah? And ruin the mug cozy, doesn't it dribble? To me, they're just something else to wash. Maybe I'm just too practical. And I don't buy takeaway coffee, so I don't want. And not many people do over here. We're not like in America where you call and buy takeaway coffees all the time. It's not like that in the UK, really. I suppose office people do buy takeaway coffee, but your normal person in the street here doesn't. We tend to go in the cafe and drink it in the cafe. We don't buy it and walk about with it or put it in the car or something, yeah. Yeah, I like a clean tea towel every day. I don't want one hanging about. I certainly wouldn't want to wash the crochet. I like to bleach or hot wash my tea towels and my things, so I don't think I would want one with a topper on it that I couldn't put in the hot wash. It's just one more thing to dry, isn't it? I mean, they're fastened permanently onto these tea towels, aren't they? So how would you, you know? And to me, they look like gathered up, and that they don't look clean because all the muck would go in the folds of the tea towel. No, I like my tea towels flat and dried on the line, and yeah, it's just a hygiene thing. Yeah, I used to use a couple of tea towels. You know, I used to use a couple of tea towels every day, sling them in the washing. Good evening, Suzanne, the Swedish Yanni hooker. Good evening, Suzanne. As I say, we have different things in the UK that we do that you don't do in the US, and then things that you do in the US we don't do over here. I mean, on a couple of craft fairs, I did try making, washcloths, and I even made them all fancy and tied them up with ribbon with a little bar of handmade soap. Didn't sell one, not a one. I think we tend to have a throwaway dishcloths or sponge things over here in the UK. I know my daughter definitely wouldn't use one if I made her one. My younger niece, she liked the washcloths I made for the kiddies for the bath. I made them in lovely soft cotton, so she did like those. And I made them mittens, like animal mittens and stuff, so they could have them in the bath. But that was when they were much, much younger. They probably wouldn't want them now. They're growing up. I used to make my son puppets out of old towels, sew them round and make glove puppets so he could wash, because he wasn't very good at washing himself when he was little. So a towel topper, it's something that they sew on the top of a tea cloth, and it's like a triangle with a button, and they hang them off something. I don't know what they hang them off, but they hang them off something. But to me, gathering up the tea cloth like that to put it in this topper, I don't see the point of it. It's like a quarter of the tea towel you can't dry up with. You can only dry up with the bottom three quarters. So to me, I don't see the point of them at all. Maybe that's just me. But I doubt I would sell one if I made any, so I won't be making any. They'd probably look at me and go, what the heck are them? Hey, I've been watching videos on doing up dollies' houses. I can't wait for it to be nice weather and me to start painting my dolly's house. Yeah, I suppose it's just for drying your fingertips and not for drying the actual dishes. Yeah, you see, I don't have anywhere on a kitchen cabinet I could hang it, Jill. My kitchen cabinets are all like They close with strips. They don't close with knobs. They don't have anything like that. So I wouldn't have anywhere to hang one if I had one. Hey. As I say, my friend's busy making bunnies. Bunnies and chickens she's busy making. She likes little fiddly things, I don't. Those of you who know Ruthie, she's been making a lovely, like a granny square, throwing bright colours, just me, reds and bright colours. Absolutely gorgeous. She's made it for the pub or something that she goes in. I'm at a loss really with coming to make granny squares and that because I gave away all my oddments, you know. I need to buy more oddments, you know, for when I go to the market, you know, the cheaper stuff that they have, the acrylic. I think it's about £1.20 or something a ball. Somebody mentioned we were going to discuss Deramores, but I can't remember who it was. We're going to discuss Deramores, but I can't remember who it was. As you know, Deramores has been bought out by Lovecrafts.com. I have ordered from Lovecrafts.com, but I haven't ordered from them for a long time. And I haven't ordered from Deramores for a long time. I went off Deramores when the deliveries was absolutely rubbish. I'm going back about 2 or 3 years. Everybody was complaining that they'd ordered things and they weren't getting them in a couple of weeks, 3 weeks weren't coming. So I think that's what started the downhill, whatever you want to call it, at Deramores. I don't know whether they didn't have the staff. I mean, we're talking pre-COVID here. It wasn't that the staff were missing because of COVID, yeah. It was, I think that's why I stopped ordering from Deramores after that. I got fed up of waiting. You don't want to wait 2 weeks for your wool to come. Well, I think it's hit everybody hard. I mean, you know, I used to like, you know, the one in Blackpool, the little wool shack, yeah. Lolly's little wool shack. I used to love that. That's gone. But, I mean, maybe because she used to buy a lot of wool from Turkey. I mean, she could have found it more expensive. It's like, you know, I can't afford. Well, they're selling Deramores. It's probably they bought up what they were selling, you know, if they closed it down. Yeah. That's probably why, Nathan. Maybe we'll find some on eBay or something as well. It's a shame when places go to the wall, but it's just hard. I mean, this COVID's just made a mess of everybody, really. I think I'm allergic to our dog, Nathan. That's why I've got no eye makeup on today, because my eyes are terrible. Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, if I'd have still had my wool shop, I wouldn't have been able to survive the COVID and the lockdown and being shut down and nobody being able to come in. I couldn't have stood it. I couldn't have paid my mortgage and stuff like that if nothing was coming in through the till. I mean, you know, if you're a big firm and you have like online sales and that, you could have got by with this COVID, but no, well, I'd seen it on Facebook. That's how I'd seen known about Deramores, yeah. I mean, I was on their mailing list, but I never got a notification through the mail saying they were closing. You know, even though I didn't buy from for a while, I still got their email notifications, but I never got one saying they were closing down. Hey, there won't be any left, will there, in a bit? Where do I get me local dyers? There's, well, one of the girls I go to knit club with, she does it, but it's all handmade stuff, hand dyed stuff. That's really only sort of socks. I usually buy things online, or I go to the market if I want just cheap acrylic. I go to the market. You know, if I'm making a toy or something cheap. But if I want anything decent, then like this, I got from eBay, or I get it from Wool Warehouse. Yeah. No, there is, like I said, there's local dyers, but I find, well, bear in mind that I don't buy wool for me to use most of the time. I buy wool to make things to sell. So hand dyed yarn is out of my price range for things like that. I'm still thinking about what to make with Daniel's wool. I just don't want to mess it up. When I had my shop, I didn't buy hand dyed yarn because it wasn't fashionable back then. I used to buy from the big places, the actual manufacturers who are no longer around now, like Serdar, Hayfield, Wendy. There's only Serdar still there. Peyton's was bought over by somebody else. Yeah. Yeah, there used to be Twillies. I used to buy direct from the companies when I had my shop. But hand dyed yarn was not heard of. There wasn't any to, people didn't buy it. And people didn't knit socks or anything. Back then, everything was so much different back then when I had my shop. No, there might have been hand dyed, but it was hand dyed by people who hand dyed. But there wasn't the market for it. I mean, if you'd have said to people back when I was in the shop, if you'd have said people would pay $16-20 for handmade wool, they'd have laughed at me. I couldn't have sold it. I couldn't. It's all so different, and people just didn't pay handmade prices and make socks with it. People were more practical when I had my shop. It's like when I had cashmere. I finished up giving that cashmere away. I couldn't sell it. And now everybody wants cashmere, and yet I couldn't sell it. It's like circular needles, I tell you. I threw them all away down the dump because I couldn't give them away. Nobody wanted them. How long ago did I have my shop? I closed it in the 90s. The bottom just went out of knitting. Nobody was knitting at the time. My mother kept saying, it's going to have a revival. Everybody will bring it back. But you think about it, back then, there was no internet. There was no eBay. Nothing like that. I couldn't have even opened a web page because there was no such thing. Most normal people back in the 90s didn't even own a computer. And they certainly didn't have mobile phones that you could get stuff on. Nobody was ordering things online. So I just had to close it. There wasn't enough trade coming over my doorstep for me to keep going. I'd gone through a divorce. I had to pay mortgage on my own house. I had to pay mortgage on the shop. And rates, everything like that. I had to pay the staff. And I just wasn't earning enough. to do that. So I was getting further and further into debt. So I had to just hold my hands up and say, can't go on, can't go on. eBay was 1999. Well, I closed the shop then. Before that, there was no eBay. Well, nobody had a computer back in the days, in the 90s, Nathan. Oh, God, lots of expenses, yeah. I very rarely use Kemps now because they don't seem to have the bargains that they used to have. I used to go on Kemps and I used to look at the clearances, and they used to have some really good bargains, ends of lines or things like that, selling at really knockdown prices. And they just don't seem to have it. I do look from time to time, but Kemps have stopped sending me emails anymore now. But like I say, I only ever bought the clearance yarn off them. I very seldom bought anything that was full price. I believe it's a better experience if you can actually go in yourself into Kemps. I have a Facebook friend who lives near there, and she said, oh my goodness, if you can go in, you can pick up all sorts of things really cheap there. But you have to like be in the shop. They're not actually on the page, yeah. So I tend to use Wool Warehouse if I want anything, or I'll browse eBay if I know what I want, yeah. I mean, like getting the ice yarn, my friend said, oh, they sell ice yarn on eBay. Yeah, they do, but they don't sell the what I want, yeah. Oh, I was brought up in it, Miguel. I started working in the wool shop at 13. I was still at school, obviously, but I was working in the shop when I was 13. So I was kind of brought up with it, and we had 3 shops at one time. The 60s, 70s, even the 80s, it was profitable to be in the wool shop. And then all of a sudden in the 90s, it just fell out of favour. People stopped knitting. People just were buying things. It wasn't the in thing to knit anymore or to crochet. It was like old, it was fuddy-duddy. It was things your granny did and your auntie did. Definitely none of the young trendies would have been seen dead knitting. But then all of a sudden now you see it's trendy. People are, I don't know, do a mend era. People want to make their own fashion. All of a sudden now it's trendy. So my mum was right in a way, because if I could have held on, but I wouldn't want to do it at my age anyway now. Yeah. Yeah, I believe it was really good, Kaz, to go into Kemps. The actual shop itself. I believe it was really good. I mean, in America, you're spoiled. You've got all these places with coupons and yeah, my shop started in the 50s. I would, I'm 45, 55. About 57, 58 was when we started our wool shop. And we went through to the 90s, but it was a struggle in the 90s, yeah. Yeah. But, yeah, I worked in it all my life. I grew up in it. That's all I ever knew, was the shop and the business and that. So it was really hard for me at the age of 50, whatever I was, to shut the shop and find something else to do. I thought, what the heck? I'm not qualified for anything. My school years were far behind me, yeah. So, I just didn't know what to do with myself. I miss the really big knitting shows that were for trade. There was that many wool shops in the UK at the time, in the 80s and the 90s, and they used to have these massive trade shows, and they were superb. They were nothing like these knit and stitch things that you go to now that are aimed at the general public. These were not aimed at the general public. The general public couldn't go. You had to go by invitation only, and it was only for businesses, yeah. Sometimes I would take one of my friends with me and they would be, are you going to buy some of this? Are you going to buy some of that? Oh, this is gorgeous. Buy some of this, buy some of that. And I had to try and explain to him that I couldn't buy anything there at the store, the show. I had to, get the representative to come around and I had to buy loads of it. I couldn't just buy one packet because she liked it and she wanted to knit something with it. No, I didn't have, there weren't knitting places then. It was a different atmosphere altogether. It's so different now, Miguel. There was nobody would have come. Everything was so much different back then. There was no coffee shop knittings and stuff like that. Some shops did offer to teach people to knit one-on-one, but I never did because, to be quite honest, by the time I'd finished with the shop, we used to stay up until 6 o'clock. There was no way I wanted to stay open after that because I wanted to get home and have my tea. And also, I couldn't do it during the day because customers were coming in. So I couldn't devote any time to sitting knitting with somebody when I had customers coming in the shop that I had to serve. So I just couldn't do it. But it's a different era. Like I say, Americans started off this knitting and crocheting in coffee shops. It came over here much later than that. We never had anything like that until they all started off in America, these local knit clubs and knittings and stuff like that. There was nothing like that. Nothing at all, yeah. Yeah, we did layaway. We did, yeah. We had to do it. We used to do it for 6 weeks. It went in a shoebox and it had the date that it was put away on. And if you didn't come in within those 6 weeks, then we used to have to put it back on the shelf again. But what we did was we used to have a book and we used to write in every time we took things out. We'd write the person's name down and what it was and what dialect it was. And if they were lucky and they came back in, we might still have some of it still on the shelf. But we used to say to them, look, 6 weeks is ample time for you to buy it, I mean, now they wouldn't do it. You have to buy it all. There was no such thing as buying checks or anything like that. There was no holes in the wall, remember? There was no cash machines. Yeah. There's more choice. A lot more. Hi, babe. Yeah, there's more choice now, I think. You can choose to get hand-dyed yarn if you want. You can choose to buy cashmere. You can choose to buy silk. Things like that we never had, yeah. Oh, Wendy Chanson. Yeah, we used to sell that, yeah. Wendy Chanson. Lister's caftan, that was very similar to the Chanson. It was brushed. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there was as much choice. You either had your double knit, your 4-ply, your chunky, your Aran. You didn't have a lot, and there was mohair, yeah. There wasn't all the choice that there is now. Oh gosh, no, not seen a yarn machine. It sounds very sort of Japanese, something that a Japanese or China would have. You can buy anything, I believe. In is it Japan or China? You can buy anything in a vending machine. But the chenille I liked, but it used to go bald underneath the armpits, because all the fur would come off and you'd be left with the twine in the middle. When you moved your arms across, it used to be big bald patches. Oh. I sent more chenille back to the makers, yeah. You're stuffing your face? Oh, good for you, Chris. Yeah. I might stuff my face actually in a minute, yeah. See, I started my sleeve. I'm going to eat my crisps. What's the back now? I did. I used to sell my crochet in the shop. Yeah. And my machine knitting. That's how I made my pin money, because my ex-husband was really tight with money. He didn't believe that, my son wanted designer stuff. He was a teenager. He wanted all the latest designer t-shirts, designer trainers and shoes and that. My ex-husband was not into that at all. He didn't believe that. So I used to crochet and knit and put the money on one side to buy us some, designer shoes, designer whatever, trainers that he didn't know anything about. Although he did find my stash of money one time. Yeah, my pin money. He did find my stash of money one time and he took it. He said, "That's our money, not yours." I thought, ooh. Talk about when the rot set in. The wool sort of fell off my eyes long before then, but then it really fell off. It fell off my eyes with a clang. I thought, right. So what I used to do was any money I made, I used to leave it with my dad. He had a safe back in the days where he used to keep the money for the shop, yeah. So I had an envelope with my name on it in his safe. I had it in the back of my purse and he went in my purse and saw the money. So then I used to hide it we had a safe at the shop where we kept all because people dealt in cash in those days. So sometimes you could have, £500-600 in the till at any one time. So if you couldn't get to the bank, then you would put it in the safe, keep it safe. So that's where I kept it. So he didn't get his mittens on it after that. He used to work part-time sometimes in a bar in the evenings. I never saw any of that money. So much for it being our money. Yeah. No, my husband was nosy. He would go through everything. He would go through my handbag. He would go through my purse. Well, somebody'd have to do the live if I went and fried you a few eggs, big girl. In my eyes, Anna, I was the one doing the work. I was the one slaving away over a knitting machine, slaving away crocheting. So I didn't see why. We had enough money to feed us. We had enough money to pay our bills. But he was mean when it came to anything to do with clothes or shoes or something. It'd be like, what do you need another pair of shoes for? You've got one. A lady wants new stuff. If you've been invited out to a dinner dance or a party or something, you know what it's like, girls. You want something new, don't you? You want a new dress. You want some new shoes. You don't want to go in. And he used to say, well, I'm wearing the same things. I said, you know, a fella. People don't notice if you're wearing the same dress as you wore at the last party. We started going out on the Saturday nights, to the local sort of squash club, where they all had loads of money, much more money than we ever had. These squash clubs are like very cliquey. And he would be saying, "What's wrong with that dress?" Or what? And I used to think, I'm competing with women who have dress allowances. You know, people who shopped at the trendy boutiques and these designer clothes that they had. You know, and I'm there on the market buying a dress. Exactly. If you're trying to hold your own amongst women who have got an unlimited clothing allowance because their husbands are that rich, and you're turning up in the same old cheap market frock, it makes you feel bad about yourself. I mean, these days it doesn't seem to matter as much. You can just wear what the heck you want because people don't dress up. But back in the time I'm talking about, the 80s or the 90s, people did dress up to the nines when they were going out. You know, people would have haircuts and stuff, lovely clothes, lovely shoes. And if you rolled up wearing the same old stuff you had like last week or the week before, you know, people used to talk about you. I used to crochet myself dresses, wear them a couple of times and then sell them. I must admit, Anna, that it breaks my heart sometimes when I see people in the pub looking like they've just come out of work. I'm not being a snob, but I think, well, if you're going out on a Saturday night, make a bit of effort. Oh, if I'm going out, I have to put something nice on. I couldn't go out wearing the old stuff I'd had on all day. It's not in my nature. Hi, Isaac. I don't like to see men with a suit with a t-shirt or something, a vest underneath it. You know, it looks awful. I don't mind if they wear a polo neck sweater or a nice sweater. When they wear an old t-shirt or something underneath the suit. Hi, Denise. It's pride, isn't it? But this is fashion. I mean, I would have never dreamed of going out with jeans with big rips in the knees. Yeah, exactly, Anna. You just don't want to go out wearing your old tracky bottoms, do you? You know, something you've been painting in. Ugh. It's like wearing a suit with sandals, isn't it? Sandals and socks, don't get me started on that. Ugh. Unless you've got something wrong with your feet, why would you wear socks with sandals? So many men did. It's not so bad if they've got shorts on and they've got those knee-high white socks, you know. But ordinary woolly grey socks with a pair of sandals. No. Saturday night when you're not out, well, you see, well, I won't say you're young, free and single, you've got a partner, but you know what I mean, you haven't got anything to hold you in, have you, Denise? Yeah, I've seen a picture. And you see, to the UK, sneakers are what we would call pumps. I don't know what you would call them. You know what we used to wear for gym at school? Rubber shoes. What did they call them over there? We call them sneakers or pumps, we used to call them. I don't know what you call them in America. They're rubber soled and they usually slip on, or sometimes they've got laces at the front. They're like tennis sort of shoes. Long before trainers ever came out, people used to wear pumps or sneakers or whatever. But I don't know what you call them in America. You call them tennis shoes, right? Yeah, we used to call them pumps. And we used to have a pump bag that we used to sew in sewing. Oh my God. Hello. Chris, get your zapper out. Oh, it's still raining very hard here. Pumps are high heels. No. Oh, I'm going to sleep according to this. Plain white plimsolls, yeah. We had to whiten them with whitening stuff, yeah. I have got orange. That one last week was disgusting. That one with the popping stuff. Ugh. Oh, you can't beat a nice pair of stilettos. But show me somebody who can actually walk in them these days. They look like they've just come off a blooming plantation, don't they, when they walk in high heels? And that's before they've had a drink. When they've had a drink, my God. Yeah, pumps are plimsolls to us. That's so nice. I love orange chocolate. That tastes a bit like Terry's eggs. I have to wear flat shoes these days because of my back problems. I used to wear 4-inch heels all the time. To work, to everywhere. Never wore flat shoes when I was dressed up. Yeah, I wore stilettos all the time, 4-inch heels, yeah. You didn't feel dressed up without them. Slim skirt had to have high heels. You couldn't wear a slim skirt with flat shoes. Well, they weren't quite like Lady Gaga. Oh yeah, they're pimps, not pumps. Yeah, I used to work all day in high heels. I had shoes to match every outfit. Red, green. And in the summer, I used to have high heel sandals that I used to wear. After I had my back operation, I couldn't wear any of them. And I gave them all away. I gave all of my heels to a women's shelter. I rang up and I said, did they want them? Could anybody wear them? And they said, oh, yes. I put a necklace on every day. I just don't feel dressed without one. Yeah, I said to the homeless shelter. Well, it was a shelter for battered women. Did they want the high heels? And they said, business suits? And they said, yes, they did. We were just conditioned to wearing the high heels. I remember being about 13 and practicing walking in a pair of high heels, yeah. Practicing. My mum wouldn't let me wear them. So I bought a pair, only cheap ones from one of these cheap shoe shops that she didn't kind of know about. And when she wasn't in, I would practice walking up and down the stairs so that when I actually was allowed to wear them, I wouldn't look like a twit because I couldn't walk in them. No, I actually bought myself 19 and 11 pence, which is just short of a just short of £1. Oh my God, no. The only time I ever went out in my nightie was one day. It was getting near to Christmas. I think it was about 2 days away from Christmas. And I couldn't sleep at all. So I put my high boots on and rolled my nightie up with a belt, put my big coat over the top, and I went shopping. But I wouldn't go out in my pajamas, no. There's not as many over here. Casual stuff, yeah. Horrible, mucky, tracky bottoms, yeah. But not as many actually in PJs, I don't think. They made you walk really nice high heels, yeah. They make you walk with sway. I think there's nothing more sexy than a lady wearing high heels. I know I'm probably going to sound sexist. So people are going to say, that's a man's thing. It isn't. It made a woman feel wonderful. When you knew a man was looking at you with admiration in his eyes because you had a lovely clothes on and you had nice high heels on, the feminists would be saying, oh, they shouldn't be looking at you like that. They shouldn't be. Yeah, sure. We wanted to attract the men. Sure, we did. Yeah. Hi, BB. You couldn't join us last week. Never mind, you're here now. I used to like the men looking. When I was young, my God, I love the wolf whistles. Oh, you can't do that now. It's sexist, is it? It gives you such a boost when you were a young lass walking past a building site. And woo, woo, used to come from the top and they'd all be waving and yeah, sexist man backside. Yeah, it was a good feeling. Tell me. Yeah, because we used to make the effort, didn't we? But now if anybody wolf whistles at you, it's demeaning. It's probably the old crows that never got a wolf whistle in their life that are the ones who say it's demeaning. It's like up here. In the north, we call everybody love. You're right, love. Can't do that. It's demeaning. I would far rather somebody say, "You okay, love? Do you want any help, love?" Whatever. And somebody say, "You all right? You want any help?" I can't remember the last time I heard a wolf whistle. I think the last time I heard a wolf whistle, it actually wasn't for me. I did smile, but it was for the woman who was behind me. But you know, you have to take what you can. I wouldn't get a wolf whistle these days, would I? The heck? I've got my memories though when I used to get the wolf whistles. When I used to have a lovely little figure and a nice little waistline with my straight skirts. I had a nice little figure if I think back. It's a shame I didn't think so at the time. You look back at yourself and you think, oh my God, I was quite good looking, or I had a nice little figure. But at the time, you don't think you look pretty. You don't think you have a nice figure. You look at all the faults, you look in the mirror and you see a pimple, and you wish, you wish that you'd have took it as a compliment back then, The crochet squares, oh, they're not at the minute. They're not. I'm doing a cardigan at the moment. I'm doing a cardigan at the minute. Not for me, but I'm doing a cardigan at the moment. It's got to have sleeves, yeah. Yeah, but if you would have known then, when you were younger, look back at photographs of yourself when you were younger, and you think, God, I wasn't that bad. And I didn't think I was anything special at all when I was younger. Now looking back, I'm thinking, my God, you weren't that bad, know. Yeah. Well, we didn't have the harassment, I don't think. What pattern in there, BB? You know me and my no patterns, yeah. Yeah, I like trouser suits as well. I used to feel really independent wearing my trouser suit. I used to think they were so smart. They had jackets that were shaped like, with the waist. Oh, they were. I used to wear them to work. They were lovely. Yeah. Yeah, I had my business trouser suits, yeah, with a nice bright coloured blouse underneath. Oh, my weight loss has stopped again, Nathan. Mate doesn't that when I'm eating chocolate, does he? I often wonder if I'd like a nice trouser suit now. They still do them. Just a nicely cut one. And you wear it with a bright blouse or something underneath. I mean, to me, I wore them to work, and I used to have different shades like bright pink, emerald green, whatever blouses underneath. And it always made the suit look different, yeah. You know. Everything has to tone with me, not so much match, but it has to tone, yeah. It's like, this I put on because I had something different on, but I left it on. But like the beads have to tone with the jacket. If I'd have changed the jacket for a different colour, I would have had to change the beads, yeah. It's just the way I am. I like it. I like everything to look coordinated rather than matching. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I had my going out clothes, my work clothes, very few hanging around the house clothes, yeah. They were very few. Although I did used to take my business things off when I came in because I wouldn't cook the tea wearing my business clothes and my heels, yeah. I did used to get changed into something more casual, to spend the evening. Um, I didn't sit in my suit, if you know what I mean, because you were always frightened of getting a bottom in your straight skirt, weren't you? you know, you didn't want it to be still like a booty shape when you stood up. It had to be straight. Yeah, when I came in, the first thing I used to do was go upstairs, take off my business suit, my shoes, and put something on a bit more casual. Um, Before I cook, I mean, obviously, would never cook the tea wearing what I was going to wear to work because, like, if you were cooking anything or frying anything, the smell would go into your suit, wouldn't it? You didn't want to go to work smelling of chips, did you? I was very sort of particular that way. Put my slippers on, of course. That was the first thing that you did when you went in. Once you took your shoes off and put your slippers on. It was like the highlight of the day. Wow, I can take these heels off. Put my slippers on. Yeah. So then I used to settle down for the evening after I'd had my tea, settle down to the TV. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you got to go smartly dressed. You bought a brand new, nearly finished white 4-ply hand knitted, 2 meters wide. Ah, oh my goodness me! What a shame she gave it to charity. That would break my heart if somebody gave. No, I didn't have. I had wedge heels on my slippers, not flats. I had wedge heels. Yeah, mules they used to call them mules. They had a bit of fur around the front, and your toes poked out the front. You paid £5. Oh my God! I'd have snatched somebody's hand off that. You think of all that work that some old lady had put into that. Oh, yeah. I used to like they were like a wedge heel. Ladies will know what I mean. Piece of fur going over the front. They used to call them mules, didn't they? I used to go clip clopping along in my mules. Now I'm afraid it's big comfy slippers now. It's an age thing. Definitely no high heels anymore. And definitely no straight skirts. Don't have the figure. BB bought what was the beginnings of a bedspread, whatever you want to call it, a double cover um, that somebody had almost finished and maybe passed away or whatever, and somebody gave it away to a charity shop. Yeah, so it was like 8 meters long and 2 meters wide. So it's almost like a bedspread, you would call it. Yeah. Oh yeah, I used to have feathers on my slippers. Yeah, I did. Blanche Devereaux. Yeah. Now it has to be comfortable. Try to be smart, but wedding dress train. No, it probably was going to be for a single bed, maybe. I don't know what she was making it for. We shall never know because probably the lady's passed away. Yeah, Blanche Devereaux. They were always smart, weren't they? I'm watching Perry Mason's pictures now in, the old black and white things. They must be from the 50s. And the women there were always so smart. Even when they answered the door to people, in their house, they always had these smart dresses on with little waists and stuff. Yeah, if you could double it, yeah, it would be a duvet cover, wouldn't it? If you doubled it. That's a bargain, baby. I would have loved to buy something like that, yeah. Oh dear, Kaz. Oh, Della Street. I was reading about that they always had to wear wigs. Della Street always wore a wig. They were saying like they all kind of had these kind of wiggy things. Yeah. Hi, Jeannie. Yeah, I love Perry Masons. I loved Paul Drake, with that blonde hair. Yeah. He died very young, actually, as well. He was only in his 50s when he died. What do you call William Hopper? He said you were Della Street. Hi, Debbie. We don't have thrift stores. We have charity shops. Yeah, they're opened up, but they're nothing like yours. I think I've told you before, they're tiny. Tiny little shops, yeah. Yeah, there's Hamilton Burger, isn't there? There's Lieutenant Trag, isn't there? My mum was the same, Kaz. She used to go mad if she couldn't get her hair done, even when she was really poorly. She had to have her hair done. When she was really ill, a mobile hairdresser used to come to the house and do her hair for her. She used to wash it in the shower before he came. Then he used to have to wet it all off and, put it in curlers and set it for her and stuff. Because she didn't like bending over the sink, so she would wash it in the shower before he came. I used to watch these two old ladies. I mean, one of them's died now. That used to be on Facebook. There was Grandma and Ginger. I don't know if you've ever watched them. And Grandma used to have her hair done every week on there. I mean, she passed away. She was 102 or something when she passed away. And the other one, Ginga, is still alive. She's 103. But apparently she's lost the plot now. She's got dementia, sadly. But she was 103, either today or yesterday. Ginga, if you used to watch her. Grandma and Ginga, yeah. Has Enid come in? I didn't see her come in. Where's Enid? Oh, yeah, hi Enid. Just seen her. Yeah, I was just saying earlier on, my aunt by marriage is 100 yesterday. She got a card from the Queen, yeah. I loved watching the videos that they've been making after Grandma died and looking at all the stuff she had. Boy, did she hoard blankets and stuff like that. She hoarded everything. They were going through the house looking at, and it looked like it was in a time warp. She'd got washing machines and dryers and stuff that looked like they were from the 20s. It was an amazing house. I would have loved to have had a look round it before they got rid of everything. Yeah, the blankets she had and stuff like that. Yeah, 70 years she's been a queen. Well, why not, Enid? If you're eating a lollipop, why not? If you feel like a lollipop, you eat one, love. Why not? I'm eating chocolate orange, so why not? No, well, she could retire if she wanted to, but I don't know whether she will. I think she will just pass away. I mean, she is looking her age, let's face it, these days. She's what, 93, is she? Something like that? She is looking her age, yeah. You know. Oh, you're going to check on your chickens, right? Is she 96 now, is she? I knew she was 93, yeah. And I knew she was younger than Philip because he didn't quite make his 100, did he? Wonder if he'd have got a Queen's card like my auntie did. Yeah, she is looking a bit frail now. The Queen, we're talking about the Queen. Yeah, the Queen. I mean, she's cut back, hasn't she, on a lot of her duties. She's passed them over to William and Catherine, and Princess Anne does a heck of a lot, doesn't she, without being blowing a trumpet, but she does do a heck of a lot. Hi, Shad. My latest video's got necklaces on it, Shad. I did think about you when I was showing them. Yeah. Charles will be king eventually, if he's around. You never know, he could die before the Queen. You never know, do you? I think everybody wants William, but, perhaps he's a little young at the moment. A bit young to be king. Yeah, I know he's younger than me, Prince Charles, yeah. But as for Harry, well, enough said about him. He can stay in damned America as far as I'm concerned. Little toe rag. Demanding protection for him and his family if he comes back to the UK. Sorry, mate. He went to America. Bye. Lydia, we don't want him back. We certainly don't want her back. Trouble causer. She can stay over there. Two-bit actress that was never any good anyway. Miss I Want, I Want, I Want. Since she only went to America, she couldn't get her own way over here. Oh, Catherine's an asset to the royal family, unlike other people. Yeah, Harry wanted to be a nobody. Well, he can be a nobody. So if he's a nobody, then why should he have police protection when he comes back? Nah, thank you. Stay where you are, mate. We don't want you. Yeah, you never hear Catherine shooting her mouth off, do you? She's very regal. She's a lady, Catherine, isn't she? But you can keep them, as far as I'm concerned. You can keep Harry and his wannabe wife. He's a twit, Lydia. He's a twit. Hi, McGrath. You won't get Catherine on blooming Oprah Winfrey show, would you? Harry, we're talking about Harry. He's a twit. You can keep him in America. We don't want him back. Yeah, it's buffering here. It's saying my connection is unstable. Oh, he's an idiot, Lydia. Saying he was hard done to. God, there's a lot of people would love to have been as hard done to as he'd been. And his dad never played with him and never did anything. And there's pictures all over of him riding his bike with his dad and riding his horse with his dad. And yet he's saying he never did anything with his dad. He's got a convenient memory, that boy. He's never known anything to do with no money in his life. Cushy upbringing, yeah. We'd all like to have the same mental struggles as he's had, wouldn't we? Sorry, but I've no patience with him. I used to like him when he was young, when he was in the army, when he was doing what he was supposed to be doing as a prince. But he can't have his cake and eat it. He can't want to be a private citizen and then want protection for his family. Nah, don't work. You're coming across here, you're coming as an American private citizen, so. No, let him stop over there. You can keep him. One of our exports that I'm sure you truly wanted. It's rain cats and dogs here, Margaret. I'm just not listening to it. I think my fire's gone out, but never mind. When the wind's blowing, it blows the fire up so it burns out much, much quicker. Oh, well, God, we're not looking at Prince Andrew. He's another pelican. He's another one that's blown it. What am I making? I'm making a cardigan. Making the sleeve of a cardigan. I made the back and the two fronts. And now I'm onto the sleeves. Oh, there's our Rosie barking at something. Who knows what? It's probably a sparrow, breaking wind 3 streets away. She's got a very acute hearing, our dog. Oh, hello. We've got another weirdo. Thank you, Chris. The kitty didn't eat. Well, she'd eat if she was hungry, Miguel. She can't be hungry. Maybe she is having kittens, you never know. It's boho spirit in a colour called Dream. Boho spirit. I love it. Love the colours in it. Oh, she's standing by her, man. Is that Fergie? I'll say that for her. Yeah, say that for her. She's very loyal. Is our Fergie, even though everybody called her from Hill to Burn, yeah. I might be looking after the dogs again tomorrow, just for a little while. The family went to B&Q to get wallpaper, but Trish didn't buy enough, so she's a roll short. They're decorating the room that's a nothing room at the minute. The room that was my bedroom, that I think it's a bit more like Unforgettable, Miguel, because I've crocheted with Unforgettable. Yeah, so they're going to have to go back to B&Q to get a roll of wallpaper. So I said I'll have the dogs, because they can't take the dogs in with them. I mean, nobody would pinch our Rosie, but you know, the pup is a different matter, isn't it? She's worth a bit. So I don't like them taking her. I don't do any colour control. It's just the way it happens to be. Yeah. Oh, I've got to be careful with dog nappers. Yeah. So I don't want them taking her if they have to leave her outside in the car. No way. She stays home with Grandma. I mean, she went out with them today, but then they were going to see a friend, so they could take her with them. My son's bought what was a disabled bus, and they're doing it up to make a camper van. You would call them an RV, but it's only a small version. It's only just for the two of them. So he's taken all the stuff out of the old camper van. You know, the sink and the fridge and everything's come out of that one, because the other one got wrecked with the winter. The roof failed and it ruined everything. So he's took the cooker out and the fridge, and he's building a bed. And he's doing it all out, so that'll be all finished. Before he did all that, he said to me, "Do you want to go for a ride with your scooter?" Because it had a ramp. I could have driven straight up with my scooter. But I declined, so they took the ramp out now. Yeah, well, they're going to a festival sometime in April, I think, or May. So they want to have it finished for then. No doubt I will be puppy sitting, because they won't be taking a dog to the festival. It'd be too noisy for them anyway if it's music. Because the kind of music they're into is rock and roll and heavy metal, yeah, so won't do the dog's eardrums any good. Yeah, well, that's what they wanted it for. That's what the old one was for, but they never got around to it, because last year we had so much work going on in here, building work, and my son had to be around to supervise what was going on. So they never got around to using the camper van. And then, of course, Poppy was so ill, towards the end, that they couldn't have took her. They did go away for a week before we had Rosie. They went round Scotland on a motorbike, yeah. Where's your glasses? Try looking in the fridge or the cooker or somewhere for them. Knowing you, Miguel. You always put them in strange places. Well, my ex always wanted to get a camper van, a bit like a VW, but I always had to work at the weekend. Oh, yeah, they could be in the hen house, Miguel, if you've been out to lock up the hens. You could have left them in there. Or in the shed, if that's where you keep the food, yeah. But it never would have worked out because I always had to work on a Saturday. Being self-employed, you just couldn't ask for the weekend off, could you? You know. So we never bought a VW, a camper van. Yeah. Oh, John's not been on, has he? Oh, a tent might be all right for you, but you're talking about the UK, Shad. It's bloody cold, and raining half the time, and mud. On a festival, it's mud. It's like Woodstock, only worse, yeah. Now, campsites around here can be very wet and soggy, and the showers and the toilets are not always the best. So a tent is not for me. And they'd frown on you if you dug a hole in the ground here to use as a loo. Our campsites are more be civilised. Oh no, you wouldn't get me in a tent. You never did when I was younger, and you certainly wouldn't at my time of life, yeah. Well, when Woodstock was around, I mean, A, I was in the UK, and B, I had a baby who'd be about 6 months old when Woodstock was around, so I wouldn't have had a choice. Oh, it was my kind of thing. But I would have loved to have gone if I'd have been in the States, yeah. Woodstock was 1969. As I say, my son was born at the beginning of 69 and Woodstock was in the middle of the year, I think. So I couldn't have gone. It's funny people still talk about it. It was all that time ago. But I love looking at the videos and everybody's there with the flowers in their hair and the flares with floral flares, long curly hair. Yeah. Must have been fabulous, yeah. I mean, people were all off their heads, weren't they? Because it was in the days of LSD and God knows what else they were taking. If I had to been there, I wouldn't have been into drugs and stuff like that because I never was, even though I was around in the 60s. Some of my friends experimented sort of slightly, but I never did. I was too much of a wimp. I never even smoked a joint, as they called them back then. Spliff. Never even smoked one of those. In fact, I never have. 76 years old and never tasted marijuana. I smelt it awfully enough with boyfriends I've been out with over the years. I mean, I had one guy, my whole house used to stink when he was around. I used to be sort of hazy off the fumes. No, there was very little trouble, I believe, yeah. How the heck they all managed for toilets and stuff, I do not know, and food. Who knows? I mean, I think far more people turned up than were actually catered for, didn't they? Everybody was stone, Kaz, that's why there were no trouble. They were all off their heads, weren't they? I mean, there was a few festivals in the UK, but like you say, I never went to any of them. I was never fond of doing, camping and going places where there was no toilets and stuff. I'm a bit of a wimp. If they'd have said you can go and there's a caravan here for you, I'd have gone. You know, if I'd have had my own camping toilet and showers and a place to make a coffee and stuff. But I would never have gone and no, I was never into drugs. I mean, people say they swing in 60s. It definitely didn't swing where I was. And I don't think it swung much for any of my friends either. A couple who were on the front cover of a magazine. I've seen things on Facebook where people have taken photographs over the years, you know, in the same position, like brothers, three little brothers who were tots, and then three little brothers as pre-teens, three little brothers as teenagers, and then you know, it seems so funny, doesn't it, seeing them when they're like in their 50s and they're still taking these three photos, yeah. I got married in 1968 and we stayed together longer than any of our friends. I can't think of any of our friends who got married at the same time as us that are still together. Most of them got divorced before we did. 1968 wasn't a good year for marriage. Well, not amongst my friends, it wasn't. Yeah, we were one of the last ones to get divorced. Yeah, that's nice, Lydia. Maybe I should have gone to Woodstock and not married who I did. We definitely were chalk and cheese because he was never boho. He was never hippie. He was very straight laced. As I say, I don't know why I finished up with him and not some long haired hippie. I'm sure I'd have fitted him better with one of these, you know, the ones with the round glasses, the long hair, and the Jesus sandals, you know. I'd have fitted him far better with one of those. My ex-husband was always too conventional for me. He squashed my bohemian spirit. Tried to normalise me, which didn't altogether work. I think that's why I gave away all my business suits when I stopped working, because I couldn't cope. I was too squashed down at work. You had to wear dark colours, business suits, stuff like that. I don't mean when I had the shop, I'm talking about when I was working after that. I couldn't wait to get rid of them. I knew there was no way I was ever wearing a business suit again. All of my button-up shirts, you know, out the door. So at 60 years old, I went back to buying three, you know, those big journal skirts and whatever got. And gave away everything that was conventional in my wardrobe. Did I like pantyhose? Well, I used to wear them, I suppose. But when you wear the lovely long skirts that go down to your ankles, you don't need them. Yeah. Now, if I wear tights, I wear the thick ones, you know, for warmth, but I don't wear them for prettiness. I don't own any, you know, normal pantyhose. I don't own any. If I was going to anywhere with a shorter skirt, and I would have to go and buy some. Or I'd probably just wear my thick tights. Or bare legs. Most of my skirts are that long anyway. You couldn't tell if I had tights on or not. Still got 2 feet of snow. Well, you won't be camping tonight then, will you? And 2 feet of snow. You'd have to dig a big hole to put your tent. Southern Illinois. I crocheted so much, was it not, yesterday? My fingers just hurt so much. I got in bed and they were like, the arthritis. My fingers are bad if I don't crochet, but my fingers are really bad if I do crochet a lot. I don't know if anybody else is like that. If I crochet too much, my fingers start to lock up and hurt. But yeah, if I sit here and I read or I don't do any crocheting at all, they still hurt. So, you know, it's kind of, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, aren't you, really? I'm looking forward to starting painting my doll's house once all this is all over and the weather starts turning nice. Sue's bought a doll's house. She's got to do it up. She got hers free on Marketplace, though. I've been watching people doing them up. Oh, God, to go to town, they take them all apart. Spray them all. I thought, mine's just getting painted with a brush. It's not getting taken apart. I'm not that... Oh, good yawn. I'm not into that much detail. I've got all the furniture anyway, so I don't need to bother about furniture. It's just painting and decorating I need to do. Some of the dolls' houses on YouTube, though, they're absolutely fantastic. You know, you'd be scared to ever let a kiddie play with them. They're more like works of art, aren't they? You know, they're never meant for kids. Mine won't be. Mine's getting hidden in the shed. Mine's not coming out when the kids are here. No way. I know I'm mean, but they're only 4 and 5. And they're like miniature wreckers. They'd have my doll's house in pieces before it was. Can't get out of the driveway. Well, you won't be doing anything on your little hut, will you? Your little house. Just wait while you're snowed in your new tiny house. You might have snow up to your windows in your tiny house. Make sure you've got plenty of wood in for your log burner in case you get snowed in. Imagine being in a tiny house if you couldn't get outside. You know, you had to stay in the tiny house for days on end. You'd go stir crazy, wouldn't you? Well, I would anyway. If I couldn't get outside. I'm getting fed up of doing this now. I meant to do so much more of it, but I haven't. I've only done that much. You'd love it being fastened in. What would you do? What would you do all day if you had to be stuck in all day and you couldn't do anything at all? What would you do if you had no power and you couldn't watch telly or anything? What on earth would you do? I mean, I wouldn't be so bad if I had my wool and my crochet in, but I mean, I need a book, but then you need electric light or something to read by, wouldn't you? I mean, I love being in my bedroom. That's like my little space. It's not a very big room. But I do like being in my little bedroom. Because I've really got just two rooms really here. You know, I've got this room and my bedroom really. I share the other rooms, but these are actually my rooms, if you know what I mean. Oh, I've left it on the light. It's gone foggy. This lamp might not be a great lamp. Ooh, where's it gone? If you can see it. But it sure is hot when you've got your chocolate underneath it. I'll put it in the drawer out the way. Got another ball hog. I've just got Rosie out of pinching my balls of wool. Trixie's starting now. I can't win. Just get one dog out of the habit. And the other one starts. Do you like my bottle opener? Can't remember where I got it from. I've had it absolutely years. I know I bought it from somewhere. It's a fish. They have it at Wool Warehouse. They just didn't have the colour that I wanted. Kaz. Yeah, go on then, tell us, Miguel, where were the glasses? Which stupid place were they? On your head? I still never found the glasses I lost in here. I lost a pair of glasses months ago. They were great. They were those that changed from light to dark. I thought they would have turned up somewhere, but no. On top of the cooler. Well, the cooler didn't need to look where it was going. Yeah. Hey. Oh dear. I'm getting weary now. I'm tired now. Oh, I'm not decided what I'm going to do with the brighter colour of the boho yet. Sue was talking me out of making cardigans. She said, oh, it's not boho enough. You need to make granny square things. Yeah, there's something fishy about me opening, isn't there? Yeah, I think it's meant to be a dolphin or something. So I don't know. She wants me to do more boho-y, you know, like tank toppy things, or little tops like this. These are really small. They're meant for people with no bosoms, aren't they? Meant for teenagers or whatever you want to call them. bosomless people. Same with that. I mean, that is so tiny. I don't think any adult could wear that. A hexagon? A hexagon for what? No, she wants me to make those boho tops into like a circle and then they go into a square. I made them ages ago. In fact, I put a picture of one that I'd made about 10 years ago on my Facebook, and everybody's going, oh, we like that, we like that. So, yeah, I just made a cardigan with what was left of the green. So, we'll see how we go. Things might have. Do you know, I'm rubbish at circles and hexagons at joining the down things together. I never know quite where to put things because hexagons don't fit together. You've got to put half hexagons or something. The top I made, I don't know. I might not see her until the craft fair. She's the one who's helping me with the craft fair. Yeah, I like the way the colours have worked out on this. I didn't do it intentionally. It's just the way it did it. Yeah. Yeah, that was from a pattern on. Oh, where did I get it from? Right, I got it from Etsy. I did buy some patterns, but some of them. Oh, some of the patterns I bought were. Yeah. This one wasn't. This one was quite well written. This is from that Maya. I'm just hoping that the girl's got a bosom because, like, it's got a fairly big bosom on these. I'm just hoping she's got a bust. If she doesn't, I'll have to make her something else. But this was beautiful cotton to work with. It was Peyton's cotton. I don't know whether they still do it or not. Peyton's classic cotton. Gorgeous stuff. Not the cheapest in the world, but gorgeous. But that green, oh, was it that good? No, the pink. The pink drove me nuts. It was split, split, split. Yeah, all the time. Splitting, splitting. Oh, you're going Lashira, righty ho. Yeah, I'll be going in a bit. I'm so tired. Things with having sore eyes. Then I woke up this morning, they were gummed together. I thought, oh, here we go. I've got conjunctivitis or something, but I haven't because they're not pink. So I don't know. My son said it might be blowback from his mask because his mask sometimes makes his eyes go weird. But these, I did put eye drops in before, so they stopped running now. They stopped. It was just like I was crying. It was just rolling down my face. Yeah. Yeah, I need to take an antihistamine. Would you believe we didn't have any in the house? Yeah. So I might have to go up and see. Go shopping tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah, roll a tissue so she can put falsies on. I don't know. I've seen her, but she had a cardigan on when I saw her, so I don't know if she's got a bosom or not. It's not the kind of thing you go around looking at with ladies, is it? You don't go staring to see if they've got a bust or not. So I saw her, but I saw her in a cardigan, so I don't know. Whether she's a double D or a flat chest, I don't know. I did show her the picture and I said, if it's too big, I'll make you something different. She said, oh, well, yeah. We'll see anyway. It'll sell if she doesn't, if it's too big for her. I've got 2 more balls of wool so I can make her something else, yeah. So it's not to panic. Not yet. But as she's advertised me this thing as being boho crochet, so I'm going to have to do something a bit more boho-ish. I've still got some purple cotton I found in the shed. Oh, that's going to fall off. It's some I bought off eBay, no doubt. It's Wendy's cotton. I think it's all cotton. Wendy's double knitting cotton. Is it 100%? 50-gram balls. So that's what I got. It looks blue, but it's actually purple. But I think it's 100% cotton. Yeah, 100% cotton. So I've still got that. I've got 5 balls left. We can make a little top. Quite a lot of little tops on YouTube, isn't it? Having a look round. If you sort of type in crop top or festival top, a load of things come up. You know, there's so many pretty things there. But some of them are in really fine stuff. My friend's always finding things on Pinterest, and she drives me bonkers because she finds these fine, intricate things without a pattern. They're made by some Russian lady or something. I keep saying, stop sending me pictures on Pinterest with no patterns. I'm not that brilliant. Oh, hi, Ben. How you doing? You know, Sue can read patterns better than I can off Pinterest. She crochets some things off Pinterest that don't have patterns, but now I can't do that sort of stuff. I might have done it one time in my life, but not these days. Yeah, I'm all right, yeah. I keep getting them teeny weeny little flies. They're like fruit flies, really tiny. In here. No fruit in here. So I don't know why I get them in here. Oh, John Brendan O'Neill, you've changed your name, have you? We've got his full Sunday name here. Sunday names. You know, where do these little fruit flies come from when there's no fruit in here? There might be fruit in the kitchen. There's some bananas in the kitchen. Yeah, she proper title. It's your Sunday name, the one your mother used to shout at you when you were naughty. Oh, thank you. If you look at my little video I put, I did try and hold the necklaces I bought up to the light, yeah. I was thinking of you, Shad, while I did it. It's only a very short video. It's very dark and it's not a very good video. As I say, I was going to do it earlier, but when I looked at the camera, it was as dead as a door now, which was not very good. It's actually a long one. I've just bent it round twice. Yeah. Yeah, but where do fruit flies come from? You can imagine them in the summer when you have the fruit, can't you? That sounds like a mother. My mother used to call me Lady Jane when I was annoying her. You know, should say Lady Jane, that's enough of that. When I was being a bit cheeky or something like that. I used to get called all sorts when I worked at the job centre. You know, usually referring to my size or whatever. When they used to call me fat and stuff like that, I used to say, well, there's obviously nothing wrong with your eyesight, dear. But I hate to correct you, but my mum and dad were married when I was born, so that one word is wrong. But the fat and the ugly, yes, I'll grant you that. Yep. Oh dear. They used to try every way they could to insult you, you know, to get a rise out of you. But we used to do courses in handling difficult situations and how to take the heat out of a conversation. We did courses on it. You know, no matter what they threw at you, you just used to water off a duck's back. Because you knew why they were doing it. They were doing it to take the heat off them because they hadn't looked for a job. Yeah. And they thought that if they insulted you enough and got you angry enough, you would just sign and get rid of them. But it didn't work with me. You know, they can call me all the names. I said, you know, I've come up with something new. I've heard all that before. I said, I'll give you another fortnight. I said, to find a job. And I'll give you a fortnight to think of another word to call me. One that I've not heard. And I'm telling you that I've heard such a lot that you'd have a struggle. Yeah. I'm single, Kaz, but mine is a choice, yeah. I stopped looking many, many years ago. When I was in my 40s and 50s, I was, oh, hello, Chris, come on, get your little hammer out, or whatever it is, your spanner out. Oh, Isaac done it. Good on you, Isaac, yeah. But I got to the stage where I thought, oh, no, I've had enough. I had enough. There was a woman put a thing on Facebook with this sort of gorgeous picture of a kind of American, whatever he was in, with all his medals all over. And she was saying, if somebody sends you this, like, kind of thing, ignore it because it's a scam or something. And I thought, I get them all the time. They must get the pictures of some American air base or naval base or something and put them on. And you know full well it's not them that's chatting you. Somebody was that handsome and that whatever, that well up in America and whatever it is, they wouldn't want to be chatting up the likes of half the people. Give over. You know, people who fall for it must be dumb, especially when they ask for money and stuff like that. You know, you're thinking, is there one born every minute or what? You know, yeah, exactly. You can go on any page and look, and you get all the pictures of all these servicemen, don't you? All in their outfits and the uniform with all the badges on display. And what they do is they pinch the picture and make a profile up. And then they say, hey, beautiful, or something, or I would like to talk to you. And you think, oh, who falls for it? Who falls for that? You know, nobody. There must be some silly women about, especially when they start telling you, yeah, telling you that they need money or something like that. And people send them money. I'm thinking, no, I'd check 3 times if it was my best friend. You know what I mean? I'd have to give them a ring to make sure it were them, yeah. Because there was one scam going around where you get this text message pretending to be from your son or your daughter or something saying they'd broken down and they needed this money for the garage or something, you know, and all that jazz. And I'm thinking, who falls for that? You know, You know, what you would do would be ring your son, wouldn't you? So what do you mean sending me a message, yeah? Yeah, well, I'm too poor to be scammed. If they wanted more than a couple of bob off me, they've had it. I got one the other week, well, a few weeks back, saying they were from some investment company. And they wanted to talk to me about investing my money. And I said, where have you got my name from? I said, what money? Oh, well, we understood you sold some property, blah, 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 blah. We wanted to know if you wanted to invest the money that you got from selling the property. I said, well, no. I said, I sold the property and I bought another one. You know, hello. Do you think I've still got the house money sitting there in my bank account doing nothing? No. They're up to every trick in that book, aren't they? Yeah. I don't even accept, you know, any mail that I don't know the name of, sort of, wants to be my friend. They just all get it. Even the women. Oh, yeah, my car's been involved in an accident. I said, well, I'm 76, and the last time I drove a car, I was 60. So where was this accident? Can you tell me about it? Well, it must have been somebody in your family then. I said, I live on my own. I said to one, I said, hang on, I'll ask the dog if he's been driving lately. They put the phone down on me. I mean, who falls for these scams? Who falls for them? I used to get the ones that say, your internet will be shut down. I used to say, oh, good, because I'm fed up with it anyway. But I'm telling you, if you don't do this, that, and the other, I said, if you think I'm letting you into my computer, I said, you've got another thing coming. Oh, well, I just want to do this, and you've got a fault. I said, well, if I've got a fault, I said, then I shall report it to my son. I said, who's a PC engineer. He wasn't. I said, my son's a PC engineer. I said, what's the fault? I said, and I'll tell him. And eventually they gave up. I know that, who falls for it? Yeah, they must. Yeah. I used to say that to people who say, scam, scam, don't bother scamming. Oh, but madam, can I just tell you, no, scam, scam, don't bother scamming me. One in the end told me to F off. I said, oh, charming. Put the phone down. One of them said, I'm going to ring you every day of the week. I said, and he said, until you agree to talk to me. One was like, oh, I want to ask you some questions. And I said, no, I don't answer questions on the phone. And because I'll ring you every week until you answer my questions. I said, ring away, sunshine. I said, and I still won't answer your questions. I said, you can ring me every day from now until next year. And I still won't answer your questions. What have you got against me? I said, I've got nothing against you. I said, but I'm just not answering your questions. Yeah. Oh, no, I won't ever let anybody. I didn't used to answer numbers I didn't know, but then since I've been here, I've only got a mobile. So the number of people who've got my mobile are very, very few. In fact, my phone hardly ever rings. But I do have to answer to numbers I don't know because I'm waiting for, a hospital appointment and things like that. So they could be numbers that I don't know. I've only had 2 kind of cold callers since I've been here in 12 months, which was great because I used to get about 2 or 3 a day when I had a house phone, a landline. When I had a landline, God, they were a nuisance. As fast as I used to block them, they used to come at me with a different number. You can block them and block them, you know. No, nobody really has my mobile number, Kaz. Only my friends have my number. Obviously, hospital, doctors, people like that have my number. Optician, you know. People who might need to contact you for some reason or other, they've got my mobile number. But nobody else has it. We decided not to have. I gave it to you. No, yeah, I didn't. Nobody on here's got my mobile number, I don't think. Ian did at one time, but Ian's not been on for a while. But that was only because we were going to Bury Market with Kelly at the time. And we had each other's mobile numbers in case he got lost on the way to Bury Market. Hey, did you see Bury Market? Got voted the best market in the UK again. Yay! What's my bank number? Oh, yeah, I'm going to tell you that. Yeah. Why don't I just give you my PIN number as well while we're at it? Even I can't remember my PIN number, so you got no chance. Yeah. I remember getting one. I'd won a cruise. I said, no, I haven't entered a competition to win a cruise. Oh, well, somebody must have entered you into it then. I said, no, they didn't. Well, we need such a thing. We need your bank account details so we can send you the tickets and stuff. And I went, no. What do you want my bank account details for, to send me tickets? Oh, well, we've got a prize that goes with the tickets. So you're spending money in that. I said, oh, well, a cheque will do. I said, if you've rung me up, I said, you obviously know me house number. You obviously know where I live. So why don't you just put the cruise tickets in an envelope along with a cheque for the money I've won? But no, we don't do it that way. We do it by direct debit. I went, yeah, and I just come over on the same boat. You're trying to sell me a cruiser. Oh, but don't you think? I said, no, I don't think I've won it. It could be the cruise of a lifetime. I said, would it? I said, well, you go on it then. I said, I'll tell you what. I said, I'll give you the ticket. I said, you go on it instead. Put the phone down. I think you're daft. You think you'll go, oh, I'm on a cruise. Especially when you've never entered a competition. No, you don't win a cruise. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure we've all had the emails. They usually come from Africa. One of your relatives in Africa has died in a car crash and doesn't have any relatives. And he's bequeathed all his money to you. So we just need your bank account details so we can send you the money. Yeah. And we all want to do that, don't we? I typed back to one of them. I said, I'll tell you what. I said, if you know all about me, send me a cheque. I'm moving again. Yeah. Oh, they try anything, don't they? It's always to do with, this is BT, about your connection. And I'm like, I'm not with BT. Yeah. Yeah, most of these scammers come from Africa. I'm sorry if you're from Africa, but most of these scammers do, yeah. Yeah, you just bought a bridge from another guy. Yeah, I started making up stupid. I mean, one was talking to me and I said, oh, I'm sorry. I said, you're going to have to talk to my son. Oh, well, what time's you sold in? I said, oh, I don't know. I'm not allowed money. And I said, I'm not allowed matches either. And he went, oh, right. Why are you not allowed matches? I said, because I burn things. He didn't stay long. I don't know why. Oh, dear. Oh, I don't go in chat rooms anymore. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's always somebody who wants to come. Yeah, the age, sex, location. And I used to say, that's all you got to say. Don't bother. I used to be in the Yahoo chat rooms when I was young and stupid, and when it was the first days of Yahoo and stuff. I used to be in the chat rooms. Do you want to see my picture? I used to say, no, thank you. You sure you don't want to see my picture? I said, no, because it won't be your face. Oh, don't be like that and all that. I said, no, I don't want to look at anything else but your face. So I said, if you know, oh, God. Yeah, don't you want to look at a picture? No. I don't want to see your wherewithal flashed all over my screen. Thank you very much. Are you a prude? Yes. You got it in one. Somebody said to me, can you show me your pussy? So I held the cat up and he went, effing funny. I said, it's the only pussy you're going to see around here, mate. I'd like to know who used to fall for it. I had an email not that long back saying they wanted £200 from me, or they would send to all my friends on the internet pictures and videos of me naked and, you know, in a compromising position. I said, no, can I have a look at them? I said, because they don't exist, so send them me first. Oh, well, you know, if you send us the money, we want. I said, send them everybody. Send them whoever you want. I said, because they're not me. I never heard back from them. I wonder why, yeah. Who's got the PJ? Well, you can see I haven't got mine on. I should hope nobody in America's got their PJs on because it's only afternoon. You're fully dressed. Yeah, I'm fully dressed as well. I won't be in a bit because it's almost 12 o'clock and I'm a bit sort of like, if you don't wear PJs, we don't want to see what you're wearing apart from the PJs then. It could be worse. My son doesn't wear PJs, but he does wear his boxers or a form of boxer shorts, yeah. It's me dandelion and burdock and the chocolate that did it. You wear your long johns, do you? I wear me nightie. I'm old. I need me warmth. I wear me nightie. It's actually like a very, very long t-shirt with sleeves in, you know. But it's not one of them nice fancy nighties they wear on the telly, you know. You've got your Mickey Mouse on, have you, Cass? Mine are very plain, my nighties. My sister-in-law bought them for me from, oh, what's it called? Not Fruit of the Loom. One of those places where they sell expensive stuff. They're just long, like massive long t-shirts with long sleeves. They fit me twice over because she bought them when I was like 2 stone, 28 pound heavier. So they fit me where they touch, you know, but I like them. They're nice and comfy. A mouse run up you. You know? Well, keep your mice to yourself, Lydia. Yeah. Lydia said a mouse run up in IT. An old expression. Thought you meant a real mouse. She'd have got Edith going then. She doesn't like mice. She don't mean a real mouse. I'm the opposite with pyjamas. Pyjamas ride up, and I won't tell you where they pinch me. You know, where your underwear bunches up. Well, my pyjamas do that. They bunch up in places they shouldn't bunch up. So I don't like them. I prefer things that are loose. I used to wear lounging pyjamas when I lived on my own. You know, when I was in bed but not in bed. Yeah. But now, I don't. Now, surprise me, Miguel. You dozed off. That is a surprise. We all know Miguel likes to doze off. Anyway, I can't stop yawning, and this darn computer keeps blinking freezing on me, so I'm getting my hair off here now with it. And it keeps freezing me in positions like, you know. So I think it's time I went to bed because it's almost midnight, and I am going to go to bed. I'm going to take my sore eyes to bed. Yeah. And I thank you all for your company, and I shall see you all next week. And hopefully I can make a video where it's actually daylight and you can see what I'm talking about. Who knows? But then again, you might have seen what I've got to see already on the dark video. Although it would have been nicer if you could have seen it, yeah. Anyway, good night all. Thank you all for your company, and I'll see you all very soon. And I bet you didn't send an email to Mr. Marsh, did you, Miguel? I bet you forgot again. Yeah. Okie dokie. Yeah, look at that red eyes. Good night, everybody. Bye now.